Here we have so many players out there. I didn't know winners normally leave. Okay, okay. There are some. Okay, there we have the game. Games have already started. Here we have the very first game, that is Mikhail Talagan versus Rock and Roll Rochok Rochok. Mikhail Tal won again. Okay, he haven't written his name. He's not here, so maybe let's see. Let's see another game. Let's see another game that's going on. Here we have Ria versus Purnima Gurung. Both are female players playing at this moment. Let's see. Below 1800 sorry, leeches rating. This is leeches rating. Okay, let's see what's going on over here. The first move that was played by Purnima is e4, e5 was replied, telling game knight to f3, knight to c6, and d4. Scott's game on the board played by Purnima, and knight captures pawn, and then after knight to f6, two knight variation in the Scott's game. Wow. Guys, you can see, right? Let me check it out if everything is fine. And hello, bro. Hello, Rajinder Podil. So here we have, and both are female players. Very, very good to see. Below 1800 rated, below 1800 leaches rating, and we have top players with two female players. That was in first and second. Purnima and Anisa was at the top. So let's see whether this tournament will be won by female or will be won by gents. So in this case, I believe capturing the pawn was good. Bishop to d3 is normal variation where you play, but I prefer to play like e5, knight to f, knight captures pawn captures bishop to d3, then after pawn captures pawn, castle, castle, and this normal variation captures and pawn. This looks like quite better for black, but white have bishop pair advantage. Both are equal at this moment, so this is good for both. Let me check if everything is working fine or not, guys. Keep watching the game. It's very interesting to see. 1800 rated player. We have some player didn't able to join the game. I don't know exactly what that happened. We'll just check it out. Let me check. Let me check if okay. We have around 50 players playing, and many more players. Once the round finishes, they will get our next opponent. Yeah, for those who are playing it very fast in this tournament, you have to wait for a round to complete. If you complete one round, there will be altogether 9 rounds. This is Swiss tournaments. We have to wait for 9. You have to wait for all the game to get over. So let's see who will be the winner of this tournament below 1800. And Indra Paneru is at number 1. We have Raju Maharjan, I think. Then after we have Asutos Detroit Kid. I don't remember his name exactly. And I request everyone to write their name on the Leech's profile. He's from Pokhara itself, so I don't know who he is exactly. There is flag. There is flag. There is city name, but there is no name. We have this game going so interesting. Okay, there bishop to b4. Here bishop to b4 when in the opening was played in the Scots game looks like somewhat interesting. So let me figure out what was happened over there, and then we will see. Here bishop to g5. Before that, where knight captures knight and pawn captures, then bishop to b4 seems like an interesting move. Then after capture, maybe here white could play something like queen check, but he will, I think, just go for exchange, or even castle is fine. Both are playing so brilliantly. Opening are good. They have prepared. This is very good to see. Female players are preparing the opening. Here might be white just blundered. What was this necessary, just moving up and giving up bishop here? I don't think this is necessary, giving up the bishop here. Just have a trick when your opponent just captured the pawn. You have a trick like bishop at 7 check, and you'll just simply capture the queen for free. He didn't do it and just capture, and then after knight goes back, queen comes back. Queen comes back. Maybe he could just come up here with bishop to e5, attacks the knight, and knight had to go somewhere. Otherwise, you'll just capture, and then after queen capture, this will be better for white. But in c didn't play. I'm just getting confused. It's c, not he. So it's very good to see. It's very good to see both the players are playing so good. Purnima Gurung is of Mission Youth Club, I guess. Okay, Umanga Pokrel. What's your Leech's ID, Umanga? Let me check, Umanga, your Leech's ID. Let me check it out. What's there? Players just try to come at the end of the time control, so it will be harder for me. There is a trick backline problem for white. Looks very good. Just give up this pawn, try for some attack, just go and attack for a pawn, and if you just capture, okay, you didn't capture, but you will lose a pawn. Either you just can, maybe you'll just be capturing the pawn, yeah. Check, king comes up. If you just attack the pawn, I'll capture this pawn. So I'll just grab up, no, this is mistake. So you just attack this pawn, I could just capture and you just capture. So I could just capture and this rook will just simply protect the pawn. That's the bad pawn you just capture. However, you are a pawn up. You could be 2 pawn up. Here, black is a pawn up. Will black be winning a game? But it's hard to play for black. Looks like a draw's position. Will white be able to draw this game? We are okay. If king comes up, so this is a blunder over here. What's the best idea, guys? What do you think is the best idea for? Okay, that's the only idea, and let's go for check and just capture the rook. Wow, brilliant play by Riya Shrestha, daughter of Kesu Shrestha. That was brilliant. If you do not know this idea, you will not be able to play rook 2 h1. So here, white could have simply gone up with the king to g2 rather than king to e2. So maybe this could be draws after king to g2 and even king to f3, and could be draws position over here. But let me analyze this for you guys. Let me see how could it be draw. So here, when opponent just played for, yeah, this is completely draw's position, rook check, and king to g2 is the only idea for draw. Even king to e2 is not losing. When c played a2 and you played f4, that was blunder, then it went for losing position. You can simply play king to f3, and then after you just keep on this g square, not letting c to play rook to h1 or even rook to g1, and c just blunder over here like f4, and here is where c blundered. Even losing a pawn, you do not lose the game. That's the theoretical knowledge over here. You need to know how to draw this game. So might be c is not well prepared with this rook endgame. So guys, if you are learning, you should learn the rook endgame. Even losing a pawn, you do not lose up your game. So keep playing, do not leave if you lose a game. So let's see. Okay, okay, I'll just sorry, it was very loud. Guys, this game is over. Let's see another game that's going on. We have 3 more round going on, and we have so many players, 53 players. Purnima Gurung, we have Jyoti, female players. Let me see. We have Riya. Sorry, this is Purnima Parsai. Purnima Gurung just lost with Riya, and maybe many players too. Let me see some more players. I was just getting a call. This got a disturbance. So here we have Deepak and so many players. 53 players. What? That's it, man. We have so many. So here one more game is left. This is Amir versus Akash Pandey, and Zamir is losing. Zamir Ali is from Butwal, I think. Yes, maybe. So he just resigned, and then after we have round second to be started very soon. So guys, whoever wants to play, the link is given in the chat. And if you have leeches rating below 1800, you will be eligible to play. We are celebrating our 1000 subscriber. It is just because of you. And we like to thank you, everyone who just subscribed and supported us. Thank you very much. We will be coming up with many such tournaments. Tomorrow we have below 1600, and we hope everyone will be playing very good. We have okay, this looks like okay, Garima 6. Garima is not over here, so maybe Garima is offline, so maybe she will lose the game. Garima is a beginner player. She just started learning, so whatever she is playing is not bad. She has okay. Let's go for some more interesting game. We have Razu Maharjan playing with Hardash. Hardas. Let's see what's going on over here. Play Resam Firiri in mild sound. Okay. Maybe I cannot play this one. Resam Firiri. There will be copyright. I think there will be copyright. Let me try for it. Maybe not. Maybe let me try for this one. If it comes, we'll delete it. No problem. 1 minute, guys. Just give me a minute. I'll just we have here Razu Morrison versus Hadash Litraj. I don't know who is he. How did he got injury? His rating is okay. Okay, that's another rating. I thought his rating is that's of rapid rating, so it's fine. So I don't know where he is from, so I cannot say. Let's enjoy the music as well. We have the music here. Razu Maharsan have already lost a piece, so maybe how did he? Let me check it out where he just blundered. So again we have Italian normal classical variation. So here simple variation knight coming to what happened? He had knight coming to g5 and queen coming there. Okay, didn't he see this move? Okay, just go for this one. I'll just capture. Maybe I could just go and capture the pawn first and then go for castle. So this was winning for white. But if I go and capture this one and go for castle, he can just push the pawn. But in that case, I can capture the knight, and if he just capture, I'll bring my bishop back. So this was winning for white. He didn't see. I didn't think this is not much that hard to see this line. Just capture the pawn and the f7. There will be check. And if you just capture with the queen, you will be blundering a big piece. So he just castle, and then even in this position, okay, white did. If I just capture, then after this rook will be open, so you didn't go for capturing. So you just captured. Now again, you just captured the. So here I think you have to capture this bishop. This is very dangerous. He just blunder over here. So blundering a piece for free. Had the winning position, had good game, but now black is winning with the piece up. So this is completely winning for black. Had a good position in the opening. Also winning position in the opening. What 1k congratulations. Thank you, Scary Terry. It's more than 1k. It's 1100. That's more. That's we are increasing rapidly. I think we will reach more, nearly 2000. We'll reach 2000 very soon. Looks like that. And let me see what's the exact number that's showing up. I will be showing up the number, the subscriber number in the video in the next streaming. So thank you all for supporting us, and of course this is because of you. And as promised, we will be coming up with some opening session or similar to that that will help you to increase your level. And this is winning for black, so we'll go for another game that's going on. Let me take it out the game of whose game do you want to see? Let's see the Puja. Let's see the game of Puja Bhandari, female player of Pokhara, and Nissan Bhattrai. Nissan Bhattrai. Let's see what's going on. Thank you everyone for the support, and 1k subscription is just because of you guys. Maybe. So what's this? Okay, it's fine. Let me see. Let me see if I have everything working. I can extend this one and this clue. Okay. Yeah. It look good. Tomorrow we have below 1600. So, and day after tomorrow there is a tournament on the memory of late Rajasari Joshi, former president of Nepal. Sushil. Sorry, I didn't. It made me feel bad. He was a great guy. He's a great guy itself. He helped to promote chess in Nepal a lot. So let's see another game. Let's see another game. We have Riaz Shrestha playing with, I think, I don't remember his name. He is Umesh Saha of Sarlai, or don't remember exactly. Players do not keep their name. Chitiz. Chitiz. Badai. Thank you, Chitiz. Thank you. And then we have Ria resigned here, and there is no option to protect this one. There's queen coming up next. Oh, whoa, Pokharako. Yes, Pokharako. Baglum Bata. So maybe this is Baglum. This is Homant Acharya. Homnath Acharya from Baglum. Homnath Acharya. Guys, playing with Homnath Acharya is playing with Jai Bahadur. Jai Bahadur. I don't remember its cast. So this is Jai Bahadur. So guys, if you're watching, hit the like button. If you have not done that, we see many players watching and less number of likes. So hit the like button, guys. So this is a blunder pawn giving for free. I can capture it for free. I could capture with the I could capture with the rook as well, as there is a skipping square for king. So maybe what will be the next? I can simply capture this one. This is not possible as rook check is there. So here we have white winning the piece and also winning the game. So let's see another game. This is completely winning for white. Let's see a critical game that's going on. And Roy's position where we can learn more thing, where we can find some more thing. This looks to be interesting. Where is that? Okay, this looks to okay. That's also over. Whichever way I like to click, that's over. So let's see what's going on here. And this is completely winning for black. How you will just try for pawn push. Maybe I'll just go for rook check. Okay, I didn't need to capture the bishop, so he just captured the bishop. There was rook checkmate immediately. So brainwash. Okay, here we have black winning the game, but in this case there might be some stalemate position if you just bring up the rook to the b2, but I know you'll not do that. Sometimes it happens when you are in time pressure, but now I didn't think it will happen for you. There was no time pressure for him. So wow, 11 plus viewers and much more to come. We have the final game here from players from Baglung versus Jaya Jai Bahadur Karki is from Sudar Pachim. I think I don't remember exactly. Sudar. He is from Sudar Pachim most probably, and he is a veteran player and also a talented player. How did it came? I thought it was winning for white. Now it's completely draw for both the player. What does happen? Let's see. There was a piece of right. Where did he blunder? Okay, here he just gave up the piece for free. You should not give up check when piece is hanging, and you can simply okay. This is also fine. Just keep check, and rook can simply come and protect the bishop, but he didn't do so. Now he just captured it out. Rook comes, so just giving up 2 pawns as well, both giving for free, and looks like now white losing now. Congratulations for 1K subscriber. May you grow like this and soon reach. Okay, here Jay Bahadur Karki just lost in time. He had the winning position, however, now lost in time. He had the losing position where he just captured the piece for free, captured 2 pawns, then now didn't work for him. He lost in time. So third round have started here. We will see which game do you want to see, guys. So you can simply see on the screen there are the names shown over there. So guys, you can simply comment. You can just chat, comment the names or Leech's ID. We can show the games for you. We'll show the games for you. Mission. Congratulations for 1K subscriber. May you grow like this soon. Reach 1 million and eventually 10 million. That's very lovely comment, lovely word from you, Mission. Thank you for this word, and we will grow one day for sure. So let's see the game that's showing over here. We have Pooja Bhandari again from Pokhara. Pooja Bhandari, national female player from Pokhara. She is playing with Binod 161. Binod, I know his name because he haven't written his name on the Leech's profile, so I don't know who is playing. So if you do not have that, so where is that? Okay, let's see. Akash Pandey. Okay, I will go for Akash Pandey. So there we have Akash Pandey playing with another player. I don't know his name. He's Manish Bhatrai. Okay, I remember him, Manish Bhatrai. He's also a good player. So this is a tournament between the mid-level players, and who will be the winner of this tournament we will be knowing very soon, as we have already 3 tournaments. Let's see what was happening in the opening. So here e4 and c5 Sicilian was played, knight to f6, e6 was played, normal variation, classical variation was played by white, capturing the pawn with the knight, then after knight to c6, knight to c3, a6, not letting knight come to the b5. There is an idea of bishop coming to b4 and knight could come here and go for knight check, so that could be playable as well. So here just goes for Nazdorf, maybe bishop to e3, knight to f6, bishop to d3. So bishop coming to b4, castle, pawn push, bishop goes back. Here black can also give up the bishop, but black is not giving the bishop here, so wants to go for the bishop here goes. So I like the position of white, as white have the bishop here in the open diagonal. It just pushes the pawn, knight goes back, queen is coming to h5, attacks the pawn, king have to come up. So how to attack next? So he just pushes the pawn, g captures. This is not good. Next move, why you just capture with the, so maybe here bishop capture is possible, just attack the pawn. How you will defend this one? I don't think there is any way to defend the pawn on the h6. So simply bishop capture, maybe knight can come up, but after h4, what is the next move for black? If you come here, I will just capture, and this is over for black, but he captured with the rook, knight comes on the g5, wow. So here he just misses up, he just missed it. Bishop captures in the f4 was completely winning for white. Let's see what happens if we just capture. Bishop captures in h4, knight have to come. If queen, maybe queen, no, there's no square for queen, knight have to come to h4. protecting the pawn. And then after knight have to come to g5. Then after h4, where will this knight go? Knight will have the square have to go here or come back. If goes back, I'll just go for queen check, and then after queen check, mate was there. So captures h4 coming up. Rook check. Planning is same. This capture, and then after capture and bishop capture and checkmate is there. Planning is same, but here there was a little bit more faster. Here, is there any theoretical? So no, he have to. It's over for Akash Pandey. Akash, you lost this game. There is no any threat. You cannot capture the knight. Next move, even knight is coming to f6. Okay, that's over. Okay, let's see another game. If you know your friends playing up, if you want to say in game, or if you are playing and you want us to analyze the game, you will be able to say your idea and we will just sew it up. And if you do any mistake, we can say where the mistake was. And in the game of Akash Pandey, the mistake was he just do you know Hindi? Yes, I know Hindi. Yes, of course I know Hindi. I can speak Hindi as well, but I like to speak English and of course Nepali as well. Aditya Bhargav, if you want to ask anything in Hindi, I can reply in Hindi as well. Aditya. So here, I think this is fine. The bishop comes back. Bishop goes back. Maybe he could go for bishop to e7, since that white bishop cannot come to the g5, or he have to play a6, h6 somehow. h6 was not played. That led him pinning the knight and just have to push the pawn. Always remember, when you play e6, there have to be d5 that need to play in the Sicilian. So here d5 was not played and your opponent just got a chance to play e5. So that led you to play knight coming to h5. Deepak, game please. Okay, let's see the game of Deepak. So here the mistake was very... Okay, Deepak game. Deepak playing with KB1. KB1. Okay, what is his name? Let me see. KB1. Leo Boy. Chess is not just a game. It's a side. It's philosophy, creative, science, art, culture, mathematics, and more that I know. KWB1. KWB1. His name is Leo Boy. Leo Boy. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Here we have knight to c3 played by white. Not bad. So this is d5 was played, d4 was played. So here the problem of knight to c3. I don't like the opening of knight to c3. The problem occurs for knight to c3 is you cannot play pawn on the c4. You have to play knight coming back or knight playing somewhere on g5 and then after play c4. Whenever you play queen's pawn game, then I think c4 pawns need to be pushed or you will have some trouble. So that might be the problem that will occur for white in the future. You will not be able to push the pawn, but black will be able to push the pawn. Here he just blundered a pawn. Maybe he was trying to push the pawn on the f4 and there might be a mouse slip. So this happened, I think. f4 was more good here. So he just pushes the pawn on the f3 and just blunder a pawn. So here white might go for queen check and just capture this pawn. It is also possible out there, but he didn't push. He just pushes the pawn. And here is the moment where black gets the chance to push the pawn, where white c pawn is not able to be on the c4. Neither can push the pawn because of the knight and c3. So that's not so good. Knight goes to the b5. Bishop comes back. Bishop trying to come to e5. So what is he planning for? Bishop goes back. I think bishop will just try to extend. No, he didn't do that. Bishop attacks the queen, but that's of no use. Maybe next move I can push the pawn. It just goes for it. Just pawn push. Just capture. This is one not necessary. You are getting a piece for free. You do not need to go for capturing of the piece. Goes for capture, and then after, if bishop captured, then might be pawn push. So even both is fine. He could simply push the pawn. Both is fine. So here black is a piece up, where Leo Boy is piece up. So this is completely winning for Leo Boy. So I didn't need to analyze this much. Maybe if there will be any blunder, then only white will get some chance, but losing a piece. And also next move, this queen is coming up. Deepak is losing the game. So let's see who's opening. Do you want to see? Send me the game, guys. Send me the name. We have Roshan versus Roshan playing with the Parcher. Okay, what is his name? Rohit Karki. Rohit Karki is the par the Parcher 145. So we'll see. Here we have French defense played by Rohit Parcher. We'll just see. This is the exchange variation played by Roshan Karnajit. Okay, just go for queen capture. Most probably that is played is okay. Black wins the game. Queen captures. Queen comes to the a5, pinning the knight. Bishop to d2. Queen have to go back. So I didn't like queen capturing the pawn here. Your opponent will get chance to develop the piece for free. This is called tempo move. You have to capture with the e pawn. That's more good. If you capture with the queen, your opponent will be able to attack the queen. If queen goes anywhere, like your opponent just comes up with the bishop, and again attacks the queen. Queen have to move up. Look at this. Just because of the queen, your opponent just developed two pieces. So that's not good. So that's not good. Though black here gave up a pawn for free. Sorry, white just gave up a pawn for free. So that's the reason gradually black. So isn't this a blunder? What happens if knight comes in the, okay, there is a check coming up next. So, but what happens if this check? Queen to a5 check is there. So that what happens here, queen to a5 check, bishop have to go back. So it looks like, okay, this looks like a blunder. Let's analyze this on the board. Let's analyze this one. So maybe bishop comes here, bishop goes back. So this is the best move. If attacks the queen, queen check is there. The only idea is king, bishop goes back. So that's a protective move. But he just plays, yeah, that was played. Queen check, trying to exchange. You are already pawn down and you try to exchange. You can simply develop your piece and go for castle. You should have an advantage of bishop here. You should have the advantage of this development of piece. When you are losing a piece, you should have piece mobility advantage. So guys, remember, when you are losing anything or losing the pieces or even a pawn, then you should have good position, good piece development. So here just develop your piece, not let your opponent to exchange, because you are already losing a pawn. So you just exchange. In this case, there is no queen on the board, so black is easily able to develop the piece, and of course now easily able to castle. There is no need to castle, as well as there is no queen on the board. If queen was on the board, you have to castle. You have to think of what your opponent will go for attacks. So just because queen is not on the board, so black do not have to think much of attack. Okay, was this necessary? Bishop coming to b2, that was not necessary. Attacks the rook and bishop comes back. Brilliant play by black. Goes for a huge attack, capture. So simply bishop capture would be winning. Where will this bishop go? There is no way to winning a piece. Was simply bishop capture this piece or this piece. Either two of piece was hanging out. There was double attack when you move up another one piece, and there was another piece hanging up. This is skewer coming up here, so he didn't do that. There was blunder made by white. So this is completely losing. So there is not completely losing. Let me see. There was completely losing when bishop captured, but how did black win? Let's take it out. So here is the moment where he just captured and blundered, giving up the piece for free as rook capture, and when after rook check, you can simply move up the king, and bishop is protecting the rook. So here is where white just blundered, giving up a piece for free. It was equal position, but he blundered. So this is losing for black. Let's see another game, guys. Let's see, which game do you want to see? So here we have round 4 already started. We were analyzing the game. Why is it not showing up? Cape 64, rating is 64. Sorry. Yeah, we are streaming up. Okay, let's see the game that's going on. Which one you want to see? Opening Decaunus. Opening we will have in the opening session. Here we are looking up the games. So let's see the game of Alchemistic. So what's his name? Okay, Ramailo Manirakhili. So I don't know what's his name. B4 was played by Binod. Let's see what was the reply. Park was the reply. The bishop to b2, trying for the fianchetto variation, not letting opponent to play c5 in the very opening. B4 was played, and after e5, then after c4, a6, e3, knight to c6. Normal opening is there, nothing much more. He just caps the pawn. Why did he give up the pawn for free? Black is capturing the pawn for free. This is not bad. Just go for pawn push. Knight goes back. Yes, you can capture the pawn. There's no way to defend that. There is no way to recapture that knight. So knight could go back in that case. If when d4 was played, then if you just go for capturing the pawn, then there could be queen check, and if knight goes back, there could be d5 coming up next. So that could be an idea, but giving up the pawn in the very opening, there was no threat of queen to h4 as well, so that was not so good. So let's see, will Alchemistic be able to win the game? Puza ko game hero maba. Puza. Okay, let's see the game of Puza. Puza. Where is she? She lost already. She lost with the touch pair. Let's see. E4, E5, where did she blunder? Bishop coming to C4. Bishop opening, bishop to c5, pawns to d4, giving up pawn, and then after bishop captures, okay, goes for a Louis gambit. Bishop capturing the pawn, and if captures, then after queen check, and that was where she blundered. Just developing the piece for this is not so good. You could have developed the knight as well. So here is the moment when do not move what your opponent moves. That's the theoretical part here. If your opponent moves and you move the same, then that will be losing for you. Either you have to play similar, but here that didn't mean the same. Here just bishop comes out, and after pawn push, there was a trap over here. That's a Louis gambit, giving up the pawn for free. But here immediately bishop captures on the f7, king captures, and after queen check, and then after bishop capture is back, queen pawn push, and then after bishop capture, pawn push, keep again capturing another pawn. Knight comes up, then after rook is captured. So you didn't see here rook is being captured. Oh my god. So when you go for a trap, you forget of what another thing is coming up next. So you have to think of it, just capture, and after there's nothing you can do anymore, just capture everything. So the rapture is well known for the trap. The rapture have learned of this trap, so it is at the number one over here. So what else? Let's see the game of Sony Sportel. Maybe Sony Sportel is playing with Muktani. Muktani, his name is not here. Muktani. Here e4, ed5. Scandinavian is on the board. Queen captures, knight develop, bishop comes to the g4. Knight attacks the queen. What happens if I just capture the? If I capture, then after I will just capture the queen, and if I just capture, I have knight check coming up. Then I'll just capture the rook. Will that be a good idea? Or you'll just capture this pawn and knight cannot come out. And if knight will not be able to come out, then that's not so good. So here maybe bishop could capture the knight as well and just make the isolated pawns. However, this is also fine, developing up the piece. Okay, now here is a pawn off, and also an extends up pawn. Not only an extends up, it's a rook up for black. Wow. Completely winning for white. Rook up. Aqua Sama Miro. Okay, we will see the game. So there is the moment you should, okay, what you will learn from that game. Do not be in pain. Do not try for pain. What has happened? Opponent just offer run. It was accepted. We'll see the game of Aqua Sama, where you are, Koshima. What happened to your game? It's already over. So let's see what was happening in your game. We will see. Okay, e4, c5 was your game. Let's flip up the board. I'm seeing the game of black. The Sicilian is on the board. Let's play it by d6, classical variation. Knight to c3, knight to f6, bishop b5 check. Maybe bishop to d7. Yes, bishop captures, and after queen captures is good. You could also now idea is knight to c3, and your opponent plays. I can just capture. e5 was played. I'll just capture it out. Knight captures, queen to e6. Okay, what was this? Pawn push, is it good move? I didn't think this is a good one. Maybe I can just put up the knight somewhere. Knight coming up. Yes, you just played it. Queen coming up next. Knight to d7. This is not so good. Knight coming up d7. If you just capture, you have to capture with the queen. Okay, he captures knight on the d7. Capture with the queen. So it's fine. Goes back. Attacks the queen. Attacks the queen. Double attack was there. And queen have to go back to the d1. What happens if queen comes up here? Then I can just go and capture. Justice for 1800 plus. What happened? Avinash SP, justice for 1800 plus. We will have another tournament. Don't worry. This is for all the, as there was many players who were saying up there is no any tournament for middle level, no any tournaments for the low level rated players. So that's the reason we have this tournament being conducted. So we will soon have many other tournaments as well. Maybe here pawn push was possible if we just go capture. Queen to d4, trying to extend this capture. So you are already a pawn down. So black have a good position. This pawn is immediately captured. This need to be protected. This pawn, if you do not protect the pawn, then all the pawns will be captured one by one. Attacks. I will just capture this one as well. I will capture this one as well. So you are already losing so many pawns, already losing the game, and just losing a piece for free. So that was losing for very bad position for the opponent. That was played against Scary Theory. Avinash, you will be playing in the open section. Don't worry, there is free tournament in the open section for 1800 plus players in that's tournament of late Rajasari Joshi, former president of Nepal's association. That will be on Friday, I think on 6:30 or 7 p.m. We have the link on the YouTube. Okay, many of you might know of our YouTube post that we are posting. Mostly, I'll just show it up, guys. We have a new feature that has been uploaded here in the YouTube. Okay, I will show for you guys. Let me show this one for you. 1 minute. Let me show that one too. Here we have, okay, you can see or not. Let me show. Let me check. So guys, here we have the post that we have here. You can see all the posts that are coming up. There is a game of late Rajasari Joshi which have around 27,000 cash prize, so everyone can join. It's free of cost. You can join it for free. And one more thing that I have not published it yet, we will choose any 10 players of different category that will be playing with the subscriber battle of some, and subscriber battle with Indian YouTube channel, that is Rahul Chess Academy. So that will be on Saturday, maybe on 7 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. Time is not yet fixed. We will choose the player of different category that will be up below 10, below 1000, below 1100, below 1200, and so on. That will be in the leaches rating. This is the final game that's going on here. So let's see what's going on over here. Nissan Bhatrai versus Khechi Kharki. Kheche Khatki. What is this? What was that? Harvesting non-copyright music song was playing up. Sorry for you. Sorry for guy. You didn't say anything. Whatever play, you just keep on listening. You just keep on. Okay. Here, white is completely winning. You can, I think, just go for pawn push. Maybe if you'll just be able to capture the pawn, then there might be some. Okay, what happened? Wasn't that winning for white? What if I just pawn push? So that is not also not winning. I want to play in the subscriber challenge. Okay, what's your name? What's your lead chess rating? So guys, if whoever wants to play, and maybe we will choose the best one. Whoever have good rating, we will give chance for another in the next challenge for sure. Kun channel sanga Rahul Chess Academy. Rahul Chess Academy, which have around 2,000 subscriber who continuously. So this is how he just blunder. He just gave up. Just come bishop here. I will just capture and you just capture the queen. You have already given up a piece, so I'll just capture the queen. That was the mistake where your opponent just played. So this is winning for. Okay, white won the game. What was that? Black lost in time. That is not how you play. Maybe you could just bring up the rook to g7. You could simply draw the game. Rook to g7. If you push the pawn, that will be a blunder. You have to move up the king, and you could just give up check. You can bring up the rook again back to g7. That could be easy draw for white, but you lost in time. That's very bad. So let's see another game that's going on. Okay, we have first board that's playing between Muktani versus Hope. Everyone is playing fair in this game as we are having very less amount of prize. That's the reason we are having very less amount of prize. So that there will be no any cheating and no everyone will play free. So 1930, 1935 these are latest rating. Okay, maybe I will just post that one too. Here we have the game of Leo Boy versus Muktani, and yeah, here we have banner already made. So this is okay where that went. So Saturday, maybe at 7 p.m. that will be played. This time is not yet fixed. That's why we have not published it. So there will be a challenge between different level of players. Player from subscriber from his YouTube channel will be playing with the subscriber of our YouTube channel. That will be of different rating. It will start with below 1,000 and ends up with above 2,200. So guys, here we have, let's see what was happening. Here e4, e5 was played, knight to f3, knight to f6. Petrov is being played by black, knight to c3, simply protecting the pawn, and knight comes to c6. Both similar position, it's exact position that's playing. Bishop to c4, just capture the pawn, and if you just capture, threat is very simple, just pawn push. Maybe white could just go for bishop captures on the f7, not letting black to castle, but if you capture on the f7, there is a threat that is you will give the bishop here, and also here black will have center advantage and black will have good position, giving up a bishop here, and maybe black will simply bring up the bishop and go for rook to f1, sorry f8, rook to f8, and that will be completely fine for black. This is also okay where white can play with the center after playing on the d4, but Yes, again, the same problem that being created, that spin that shouldn't happen. Queen captures is the best move over here. Queen captures should be played, and if you just go for castle, maybe you just go for queen capture in the b7, but you can play it just capture with the f3, and here white have isolated pawn, and also white have danger king on the g1 that need to be protected. Okay, queen comes up. There is no threat like maybe bishop knight on the f3. Then maybe knight on the f3 do not make any sense. Queen captures, so there is no any threat. Maybe that could be possible as well as queen coming up here next. But there is a pawn. There is rook coming to the e4. What happens if he just captures? Queen captures, and after e queen to f6, then rook might come on the e4. So in that case, maybe he could just play g5, again attack, and then capture the bishop. So that is also playable. However, this is fine. So here, queen is coming to f4, and that is protected by knight coming to g3. Nice idea, but okay, here attacks the bishop. You cannot push the pawn. You will have to protect with the rook. And why didn't he go for this rook coming up next? So even this is fine. Attacks the queen. Now here, maybe he will just push. He will just come up with the queen to g5. Queen to g5 was also possible. You cannot push the pawn. I'll just capture the pawn. So this is fine. Both was fine. Queen to g5 I think was more good. Queen to g5. If you push the pawn, I will just capture the pawn. So that was also fine, but he just played queen to f6, rook to e1, again attacking the bishop. How we will defend now? Maybe I'll just capture the rook. No, that's not so good. Capturing the... Okay, I can play something. This being attack, I think he could just go for... I think this is also fine. Okay, he's trying for queen coming to e3 next move. Queen to e3 is the idea, I think. But here, first you have to internet lay 3 round Khayo Notra Jitne chance yo Extreme Alpha. What's your name, Extreme? What happened? Okay, he just gave up the piece for free. Maybe what happens if you just capture the piece? What was that? Knight couldn't go anywhere. Was that necessary giving up the... So that's the idea here, but I don't think that will work. Will this work? I don't think that will work. If I just capture this one, maybe this will be captured. So that's the idea, I think. So what happens? Might be some threat for... If I go for capture, there will be queen capture, king comes up, and then after rook captures rook. What happened? Rook captures rook. So this is not good. That's a blunder made by black. That's a blunder made by black. You gave up a piece for free. There is no any way to defend. Then you have to resign now. There is no... Maybe some threat with queen check. But will this work? No, this will not work. As king will come on the f1, and then rook will come back, or even queen is coming to the g4, just simply defending the check. So there is no way you can simply draw the game. King can come to the g2 and queen can come to the g4, just guarding the check. So maybe here is the moment where he could simply play rook captures rook, and if you just capture, maybe king can come to that 7. त्यो सब च्यालेन्जको टुर्नामेन्ट भनेपछि कम्युनिटी पोस्टमा लिङ्क पोस्ट गर्नु चाहिँ okay, we will just post it out. We will try to post everything that will make you easier. And of course, if we have chosen the players that will be of different rating, then maybe we couldn't choose everyone as we have a very limited time and there are a lot of tournaments in this week. So I think we will not be able to have any tournament for this challenge. So here is the moment where he just blunder. I think he could have just captured this one, and if he just captured, and maybe he can come with the king to at 7, as king is very vulnerable for white, and if you just capture, I have queen capture, check is there, maybe he will just move up anything, maybe queen check, and maybe capture of every pawn, or he can just protect the pawn and just try for capturing of this all pawns. Queen could come to the file again going for capturing of the pawn, but he didn't see. He just gave up the rook for free. And here is the moment. Here is the moment. You didn't have to play much. You just have to resign now. But still, okay, this is completely over for black. Let's see the game that's going on in other games. So guys, we have Zen Bistic play Vladimir. We are not playing any game today. We are just analyzing the game that's being played. So we are just analyzing the game. Guys, let's see. For those who have not yet subscribed our channel, I would like to request them, and also for those who have subscribed our channel, we are here for you, and this is the game of subscribers. It's for you guys. So thank you all for subscribing, liking the videos, learning from it, and helping us to grow more and more. Recently, so let's see what's happening in another game. So let's see the game of Gorkha Khatri versus Razu Moharjan, and Razu Moharjan winning a piece. White is trying for some draw, like queen check, queen check, queen check, looking forward from check draw. What happens if we just push the pawn? Maybe queen check. So again, there is queen check. So maybe he would have tried for some king coming out of this territory. Will he go for queen check? So he just go for queen 2. So this is not good. He had to go for queen check over here on the f6, and king goes here. Then there could be some chances for draw's position, but now it's completely winning for black, I guess. Again, there is check, but I can simply protect with queen to f3. Queen to f3 was completely over for. So there is checkmate. Oh, it just finds it out. There is checkmate. Brilliant play, Razu Moharjan. So Sony's at number 1. Female players are not at the top. We had the rating good. That was very good for Purnima Gurung, whose rating was 1794. She lost a game with Ria Shrestha, and then after in Dira Vosti, both the female players with female players, and then she lost a game with. She won a game with Poonam Parsa, and she won a game with Zamir Ali. Can you play Vladimir? It's me. Sorry, Nikolai. We are not playing any game today. We are just analyzing the game that's going on. That's a tournament that's going on. That's below 1800. We will not be playing today. There will be playing session. There will be. Okay, here maybe he could just capture. This is blunder over here. I think is just capture. And no, this is not blunder. There will be no opposition taken by black. So if he just capture, there was somehow some case here. He got a chance to just capture the Shuan check. If he just captured, then I will capture the rook, and king could come on the c6. Even this is winning, I think. No, it was draw. Let's analyze the board. This is draw. This is draw, and he got a chance for draw. He didn't see it out. So let's see what happens if we just capture. And the only idea you can play is just move up the king over here. But even I have rook check coming up next. And if you go here again, I have again rook check. If you just capture, I have king coming up here. And if you just bring up the king, protecting the pawn, I have king to d8, and it's the draw. What a move that you didn't see. You didn't see Binod, and you lost the game. Manish for try move up the pawn, and that was a blunder made by Manish. So you have to think up whenever you move up the piece or anything like that. You just push up the pawn. There is no idea. There is no anything that can be played for white. As if you just move up the king somewhere, I will just capture the rook and you will lose the game. And if you come here, and again I'll just capture, and if you just capture, I'll just capture the pawn. So this is the draw's position that could be played. So always think of this moves. Even in the end game, there could be some tricks where you can find this type of game. So guys, you have to not design immediately. You have to find the best move. There could be some draw's position. Look at this. There is no opposition that can be taken up by white, and the only move that can white play is king to d6. Other than that, if you move somewhere, then there will be king captures the d7 and draw's position. Wow, that's very good. Sonish versus Muktani, that's playing over here. Muktani, guys, if you have not updated your name, kindly please update your name. We will be having and we will be knowing who is playing and we will be analyzing it accordingly. We have Abi Mugger joining the team now. So guys, see, okay, how many rounds are left? Let me check it out. How many rounds are left? So three more rounds are left. Already an hour that have passed off. Three more rounds to go, and very soon we will be knowing of the winner of the tournament. So three more rounds. However, the players have 4.5. Four players we have 4.5, and two players with 4 points. Let's see, Muktani with the highest tie break. Then we have Sonis, maybe Sonis Portal, and Manis Bhatrai, and we have Leo Club, that is KWB1. Then after we have Akash Pandey with 4 point, Monster with 4 point, the pastor who lost with Muktani, and playing with Aquasama. Let me check with the game of Aquashama. His name is Miraz Thapa. Aquasama. Miraz Thapa is playing with Rohit Karki. Rohit Karki with the white pieces, Miraz Thapa with the black pieces. That is the pastor, that is Rohit Karki, and Aquasama with the black pieces, that is Miraz Thapa. D6, D4, classical variation. Just go for classical line. Knight to C3, A6, Nasdaq. Variation is played by black. F4, trying for some 4 pawn to be pushed. Maybe he will play the same. No, it's being declined by the opponent. E5 and bishop to E6. That need to be played in somehow in this case. But immediately if you go for the bishop to E6, F5 might be the threat. So now bishop to E6 is also possible. Bishop to E6, and there's no threat after capture. Knight is very strong over here. Bishop check is not the good move over here. Bishop check, you didn't need to go for bishop check, just pushes the pawn. Never try to give unnecessary check. If you give up the unnecessary check, your opponent will have an extra move to either protect or gains the tempo. That's not good. Goes for castle. Wow, white goes for castle, and this looks like very danger for white. Even though he just go for castle, capture with the bishop, pawn push, just capture the rook. What a blunder that was made by white. Capture, pawn push. He's trying for a4 coming up next. He could go for a4. No, he just pushes the pawn and attacks. Defended by rook. Next move here, queen check is coming up. Goes for rook. Rook to d6. Looks like black is so aggressive. Looks like black is going to win the game. Maybe another rook will be coming up. Maybe this queen is coming up here. Queen to c6 is coming up here. Queen to c6 attacks the bishop. So looks like this is completely winning position for black rather than white. How would black continue? How would black win the game? How would he defend? How would white defend the bishop on the e3? He just goes for defensive move on the e3. But isn't this a blunder made by black? However, this queen be moving up. So no, sorry, this is not a blunder. We just capture. Sorry. I just didn't see the pawn on the e5. I thought queen is being trapped, but before that your knight was hanging up, and then you lost. You will lose the game now. You are losing up the piece. It's raining outside. Cool temperature. So maybe I can just capture the queen easily. And if you just capture, I will just capture the rook. So this is also fine. Both is equal. Both is fine. So I am winning 2 pieces. So maybe he have to resign. Ekwasama Miraz Thapa winning the game. Next move. Here we have rook checkmate. Hidden late. Okay, I thought he would play rook to f1, but this is losing. This is already losing 2 pieces. That means losing the game already. Ekwasama Miraz Thapa brilliantly played. Ekwasama Miraz Thapa was absent in the second round, but he won all the game. Scary Terry is the one who was watching in YouTube as well. Scary Terry, nice game. I forgot of pawn was just attacking the knight and used capture. Nice. Let me check it out if there was some error that was made, and let me see where did white just blunder. Let me see. E4 c5 normal classical variation was played. Now draw f4 is not so bad, and then after knight comes to b3 it's also okay. They have to capture over here. There will be a nice isolated pawn for both the players, but white could have an open rook 5. It just played bishop to c4. That was not necessary, as after b castle, queen coming to e2, b5 attacks the bishop, comes there, captures, knight capture, bishop check was not necessary. As I said, bishop check was not necessary. Just develop your piece. Do not give your opponent a chance. If you give up a tempo, you just game here and you just move up. That was giving a tempo for free. And pawn push, bishop captures, queen captures, bishop coming up. Here is where your opponent, here is where white just blundered up a piece, a pawn for free, another pawn will be hanging. Sir, Nepali bolnu bhayeko bhai राम्रो हुन्थ्यो. So there are a lot of audience from other country as well. So त्यसैले नेपालीलाई बोलेको सबैले बुझ्ने गरी. We will be creating, we will be having some different. We have another channel as well where we'll be talking in Nepali only, or we'll have, okay, this was losing. Your opponent just gave up a piece for free. You didn't capture, you came queen to c6, bishop comes back, this captures, and there is where you wins the game. He wins the game immediately. Hellboy. If you do not understand English, we will be analyzing some games with the Nepali as well. If you want, we can do that. If there is any error, bishop check ko structure weak garna chalethi. So that was not necessary, as there will be bishop check. Then he could just go for pawn push, and bishop could go to the g7 in that case. त्यसले गर्दा structure त बिग्रिदैन, तर you will be losing a tempo in that case. So this is also winning a pawn. Well, maybe he could just go for capturing with the pawn, and then after pawn push, bring up the king and go for winning position. There was completely winning for. So he could play for wit. But in this case as well, this looks like a draw's position. Rook is coming to the a4. There is no way. Rook will be coming to the b7. Check. King goes back. Maybe if you come here, I have rook check coming up. If you go here. So no, this looks like winning position for black. King is in the final square. King goes here. Maybe you can go for rook check. Or I can bring my rook king to f3. Then after I can bring king to f3 was the possible move. King to f3. He's moving up the king more farther, going king more towards the corner. And if you bring up your king here, I will just bring up my rook somewhere. The idea is just move up the pawn. Just move up the pawn and just capture the pawn on the a7. If king comes up, I will just bring up the queen. You have to capture. So now the idea is here, king coming up. So this is draw. You will just capture the pawn back. So this is draw. This would be winning in this game for black. But how? Maybe he could just move up the king somewhere. Pawn push. There was check coming up next. King comes here, and then after, if so, no, this is draw. We will analyze it. We will analyze in the analyze board. So this is draw. This draw is position. Black offers. White declines. So let me think. If king comes out there, pawn was here. Pawn push. Maybe there should be somehow winning position for black, but there might be. Not exactly. Looks like a draw as well. Pawn push. Rook is here. Rook could capture the pawn on the a7 when pawn was protected, but he will just not capture the rook. He will just capture the pawn back. So when the king was there, I will just go for check. You cannot move up the rook on the f2 as queen is coming up next. So that was draw. So that was draw. That was draw. Let's see the endgame as well. Only the endgame that is necessary. Another was not necessary. Okay. Here in this moment, white has the winning position as well. If this king comes up, pawn push was the idea. Just move of the pawn and you are winning. You should not capture with the rook, as I mentioned earlier. You should not capture with the rook because this pawn was being protected by the rook. And if you just capture, and if rook comes anywhere, you just can push up the pawn, and if rook comes here, I'll just move up the king. King is coming up very fast to capture the pawn. If king comes here, I will just give up the check. King have to go either here or here, and if comes here, I'll just bring up the king, and also I can push up the pawn. And if rook comes here, I'll just bring up the king here. If you just capture, and then queen will coming up, queen is captured, rook captures, and you can easily protect. You can easily go and capture the pawn as king is very near to the pawn. So this was the idea where black was losing, white was winning after pawn push. He didn't go for it. Go for something, king coming up, pawn push, captures, rook captures was the blunder, and there is where it ended up with draw. King goes back, captures, pawn push, and it ended up with draw. So this is draw's position. Yeah, this is draw's position. There is no way, as there is check coming up. Even if you just push up the pawn, there is check coming up, and if you just capture, and then there will be rook capture the pawn. That was draw. There was only winning when there was pawn push, when this pawn was not captured. So let's see another game that's going on, guys. 2 more 7 round is going on. That means 3 more rounds to go. Let's see the game of Pradeep Sahu versus Binod. Or let's see the game of some of the top players that was already shown in the previous game. Okay, Purnima Chess. Purnima Gurung is playing with Ki Khadki. Khichi Khadki. Okay, Khichi Khadki. Khichi Khaki. Looks like a Chinese name. Khagendra Kesi, his name. Okay, I thought some Chinese player is playing. I thought of that, but it's Khagendra Kesi. Is Khichi Khaki. Okay, I can capture the knight and I can capture the pawn back. So pawn not back, it's 2 pawn up for Purnima Gurung. Winning 2 pawn, I can just push. Okay, he just blundered the rook. What was that? Why did he give up the rook? Was that necessary, giving up the rook for free? For an exchange? So I think he didn't see that, and he captured it immediately. Purnima Gurung playing brilliantly. Rook check, king comes up. I think he will just go capture. Okay, that's not necessary. I'll just capture the pawn. Even this pawn capture is also possible. White have to resign. There's no way you can defend this game. I don't think black will be making any mistake. C can go for knight. Rook to a1, capturing the knight after c8, c1 queen. Knight captures queen. Rook captures queen. White have to resign. So Purnima Gurung winning the game. Kipu. Asutosh versus Akash Pandey. Let's see Akash Pandey having Akash Pandey with the pawn up, but white have a dangerous open rook file. So will that make any sense for? So he captures with the f pawn capture and a pawn on the g7. I don't think this is very good for black. This is bad for black. Maybe rook is coming up on the h2. Attacks the queen. Rook to h2. Make black. Knight is coming out here. Knight can come on the d6. There is no threat of pawn push. There is no threat of queen captures on the c2 as queen is guarding off, rook is guarding off. Akash, how will you defend the pawn on the h2? Maybe you can go for pawn push. Yeah, he just pushes the pawn, but I think he will just capture with the g pawn, and then after pawn captures. Look at this open rook file. That is very dangerous for black. White is coming with the danger rook open file. Maybe he could just go for knight check out here. That's also possible. Immediately, just capturing the exchange. But even easiest way might be this one. Just capture the rook, exchange is up. And what happened if he just captured the knight back? If he just captured knight, pawn capture, and this rook can capture the pawn here. That's the idea where you cannot play it out. So giving up the exchange was the only idea that black could play. Even the thread is not over. White trying to come and defend. Maybe you could just go for capturing up the pawns. When it was not protected to capture king, moving up a king was not necessary, I think. As rook was guarding up, he could just capture, then knight goes back. Then I can just go for queen coming up back, and you cannot capture the pawn as well. Okay, attacks the rook and comes back. Rook can be in the same file. So here it was not possible as knight coming to f3 was there. Black trying to have some attack. Maybe pawn push. And then after pawn push, here rook. What was that? Queen coming to c5. What happens if I just capture the pawn on the d7? Wasn't that blunder made by black? Yes, queen capturing on the d7 was immediate winning. I could also capture the pawn on the e6. As you just capture the rook, I will just capture the rook on the c8. I will just be winning 2 pawns, and of course, an exchange up. That was completely winning for white. But he didn't see that. He just move up, and here is where now he will just exchange. Will he be winning with an exchange up? Let's try to exchange up everything. If I move my rook here, he will just try to exchange the rook. So I think I will just capture this one. If we just capture the pawn, we will not be able to capture. If you just capture the rook, I will just capture this one rook. So that's fine. Chinese name. Ha ha ha. Hasi hasi पेट Yeah, Khagendra Casey, his name was Chinese. What is that? Khaki, Kachi, 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 Kachi. Okay, he just move up the rook. Will he be winning or not? We will see. Maybe this is winning for white, but how would he make it win? I will just capture the pawn. He will not be capturing up the rook. I think you will just capture the pawn over here. You have to defend the pawn. You cannot defend by the pawn. You have to come the rook on the. So no, he just gave up the pawn and just captured another pawn out here. Attacks the pawn on the e6, which is not protected by any means. Let's capture. King comes up, trying for some threats with the h3. You will have to protect this pawn. No. So some dangerous pawn coming up here. Just I think you cannot capture this pawn here as there is rook checkmate coming up next. What a tricky move played by black. He just gave up a pawn for free, and if you just capture the pawn, there is rook checkmate. One move, a tricky move. Okay, wow. If you bring up the queen, no matters. You will bring up the queen. What happens now? Knight is hanging out. There was not necessary giving up check, so that's the reason it could be winning for. It could be winning for. Maybe here is possible move. Looks like winning for white, but yeah, this is winning 2 pass pawn. If there will be no perpetual, this is completely winning for white. And of course, this is not the condition where white king will be having any perpetual. So this is winning for. Okay, can I go for some threats with the rook coming to the f5? If you try to pin, I can bring up the queen to the f6 as well, simply protecting. But how would you continue? That's the idea, main idea. Knight check is coming up. I'll bring up the king. Sorry. Okay. Sorry guys. Sorry. What was that? Blunder by white. Try for some tricks. Maybe he could simply go for a queen check over here and the c4. The only idea knight could have come to the d3 and rook is coming up immediately. Here was completely winning for white, but he just messed it up. There was like knight check on the c1 and loses the queen. Now happens. What was that? What was that? Very fluctuating game. Had some tricks for black, but I didn't think of you'll just give up the queen for free. That's what happens in the time pressure. Black wins. Akash Pandey being so lucky winning the game. We have 8 rounds on the board. Round 8 that will be played between the win that will be played between Manish Patrai versus Scary Terry. Here we have, and of course the another game that will be showing up in the next board. Pradeep Sahu playing up the same position that is played again by Scary Terry, Miras Thapa. Okay, let's see what's going on over here. Maybe transpose to fence defense, e4, c6. Caro-Kann is played and d4, d5 is transposed to French defense after basic captures, capture pawn defense. And then after it's transposed to advanced edition, maybe. But here, knight is not on the d7. Similar to position, but not exactly. What could he play? Go for pawn push and the b4. That's also not necessary. I can go for simply castle. But f6 is the main idea what black should be playing up. Otherwise, yeah, f6 should be played up in here. Knight is coming to c5 very soon. Knight to c5. He just plays the up, knight to c5, and will he capture the knight or try to protect the pawn on the b7? Go for castle, bring the rook to c1. Okay, what happened? Oh, sorry. As it didn't. We are celebrating it again tomorrow at the same time, 5 p.m. below 1600 rated player. Seems like this is helping them to have fun in their own level. This is a mid-level game between them, and of course they are enjoying. I think they are enjoying to win at that level. However, the winner have not yet came up. We were okay. He's a sacrifice. Not exactly. He will get the knight back. He will get the knight back. If we just capture, I will just capture the knight. Capturing knight, or I will just capture the. This is also possible, but if we just capture, then one after queen comes here somewhere, then if you just go for capturing of the rook, if you just capture, I'll just capture. So there will be losing of a piece. That's not possible. Now here, either you capture the pawn or give up the action. That's the idea for white. Brilliant play by white. Either give up the exchange or give up the pawn. If you try for capturing of this one, I'll just capture with the queen. I'll capture with the knight, the pawn, and queen have to move anywhere. So he just do not capture the pawn. Now I can capture the pawn. Maybe here it's possible, but check, check. So draw is possible for black. Perpetual is coming up. So he just give up. I can go for queen check, king comes here, can give for queen check, king comes here, again check, and this is perpetual, 3 times repetition. Winning game goes for draw, so that is the only move that black should have played, otherwise it's losing for black now. Now, white will try to defend this draw. If you try for exchange, if you try for go for capturing up this one, again there will be queen check, queen check, queen check, and queen check. That's the only idea. Okay, again there is an idea, queen check, queen check, and queen check. So that's not what black is playing up. Then white have a chance here now. Yeah, white got a chance to move up his king. Now white is winning completely. He missed off 2 times. What happens if we just keep check? The only square is h1. The square of f3 is again not defended by any other piece. You have to move to g1, and there will be again check and check and check, and that's already a perpetual 3-time repetition. That will be draw. That's how black could play, but now this is completely losing for black, as the pawn on the f5, the pawn on the e5 are really very strong. That will be immediately winning for white. Maybe after f6 again could be winning. So one threat is coming up, queen check, but after rook to g2 there is no any other check, so I can go for simply f6. Other rook is coming up here with the rook to g1. Okay, what is this? It's capture of the pawn. f6 was the best move instead of rook coming to g1. f6 was more good. What you will play next now? I cannot capture the pawn on the h6. If you try to capture the pawn on the h6, that will be losing. After queen captures queen, maybe I'll just bring up the rook on the h5, trying for some threats like if rook captures and queen can somehow bring to the h4, that will be winning. Now if you go for bishop capture and h6, I can bring rook to h5. Okay, there is the blunder made by white, and that is what is seen by Pradeep Sahu immediately. What a blunder made by white. And again there is rook capture on the f2, another coming up next. If you just capture the pawn, I will just capture the bishop for free. What a blunder that what we see in the middle level game, and that what we see in the high level. We didn't see in the high level game, and of course we didn't see in the Super Grandmaster games. But in the game, this you have to improve, guys. If you give any piece for free, then the game is over there. The game is over there. So here a simple tactical move that can be played, queen coming to e4, and next move he can simply capture, he can simply rook capture in h2. If king captures, then there will be checkmate, queen to h4. Simple tactical move that could be played, but he didn't see that. Trying for some threats, and the rook to h4 is the idea that can be played. Pradeep Sahu with the less time pressure. He's in time pressure. Pradeep Sahu, will he be able to win this game? There is a threat. Now it's not possible to play the same game. Okay, now it's queen check. Queen comes up here. So maybe rook to h4 was possible out there, not letting your opponent capture the piece for free. He didn't see that. He just gave up the piece for free. Then it's not possible. Now it's not possible. The rook to h2 is not possible. However, winning a queen is also already winning a game. So winning piece, winning queen versus bishop is completely winning. Let's see what will happen. Will there be again some fluctuation, some blunder made by rook to g2 is the only move. Okay, another blunder by black. Will he see? Rook captures on the g2. But what happens if rook captures on g2? There will be rook captures on the f2. Coming up, rook f2. Wow, that's a good idea. Rook bishop captures. I will just capture rook to f2, and there is rook checkmate. So there is another blunder played by black. What is this played by black? Rook. Bishop is capturing the queen, and it's not seen, and now he's here where Rook captures and the f2 is played, and this is not protected. If you bring up the rook here, there is checkmate coming up, and if you do not move if you move anything else, there is queen capture checkmate is coming up. What was that move? Queen coming on the c1 and just giving up the queen for free. Oh my god. Oh my god. Here just queen come up here and the d5 giving up the queen for free. White just blunder, and again black blunder a rook here, and again the queen is coming to c1 giving up the queen for free. That was very interesting. Fluctuating, very fluctuating, giving one by one piece for free. Oh my god. Funny game, funniest game, and the last round is here where we have Manish Bhattrai playing with Pradeep Sahu. Will that happen? Will this be seen or not again? KV1 Le Mantri Khakuni Nadiko. What time pressure, brother? Oh my god. Time pressure happens. So here, okay, c4, Queen's Gambit and Queen's Decline. Queen's Gambit Decline is played by Black. Okay, Black offers a draw, and will it be accepted by White? Thinking of White is Pradeep Sahu, and White is Pradeep Sahu. Black is Manish Bhattrai, and Manish Bhattrai offers for a draw. And what happens if he wins? If he accepts the draw, will it be? Black is thinking of whether to accept the draw or not. Okay, if Manish Bhattrai draw the game, he will be winning the tournament. So okay, here is the moment where Manish Bhattrai winning the tournament, where Pradeep Sahu with 7 points. Maybe there might be some changes in the tiebreak, as the game is not over for KWB1, that is Leo Boy, I think. Yes, Leo Boy. Here we have already winner of the tournament, Manish Bhattrai. Below 1800, and is there any? Yeah, we have Purnima Gurung, female player at top 5 below 1800, and we can see female are also growing. And this is the game where Purnima Gurung is white, and d4 classical knight captain. d4 is not so good over here. Pawn push, knight coming, attacks, was pawn push, bishop coming to c5. Maybe queen will be coming to the f4 if he comes here, and knight cannot come out here. So what you will play? Maybe queen to f4 or queen to h4 was played. Knight have to go back to the g8. Other than that, you will be losing a pawn. What you will be playing up? Knight to g8, bishop coming to g5. Bishop goes back to the this capture. He just seeks this capture. I would have preferred queen coming to g4, attacks the pawn, bishop coming up next. Okay, this is also fine. Black cannot castle now. Knight have to develop here. Maybe. Okay, what is this? Bishop trying to exchange. Was this necessary? Giving the bishop here and also isolating the pawn. That was not necessary, but your opponent didn't capture it out, so might be having some advantage. Now maybe you'll go for castle. What is he trying for? Maybe now now sees a capture. Purnima Gurung, the only female player in top 5 here in below 1800. So knight coming to d6 seems to be very interesting, very good position for the knight, and d6 attacks the pawn on the f7. King cannot come here, and if rook comes out here, that's the only move. Bishop will try to extend, or you'll just go for castle. Go for b. Okay, what is this? I'll just capture this one and this capture, or you'll just go for pawn push. This will just capture it out, or this capture is also possible. No, that's bad move, I think here. If I just capture this one, this capture, then after knight cannot come out, so I have to capture the knight back. So if you just capture, knight will be simply coming up here, and the knight will be coming on the c4, attacking 2 pawns. So you will be losing a pawn, Purnima. You didn't think of it, but your opponent too do not play knight coming to c4. Look at this pawn. Pawns are not good. Guys, you have to think of there should be connected pawns rather than the isolated pawns. The more number of pawn I land, the more number of weakness you will be creating up. Look at this pawn. It's so weak. It's so weak. However, this pawn is protected, but all the other pawns are so weak. So you will be have to suffer now. You will be losing this game. Maybe king will coming up here. Next move might be like rook is coming out here. So might have some good position for black. But if bishop comes out here, that's the only idea where bishop can capture the knight. So bishop coming out here. Maybe I can just bring up another rook into the game and just push up the pawns. Open rook file, two open rook file. Immediately will be winning for white. Hope you are getting some advice. Do not try to have more number of pawn island. Pawn island means more number of isolated pawns, less number of connected pawns. So here we have one pawn island, two pawn island, three, and we have three and four pawn islands. So might not be that good for white. So what will it be played? Might be knight coming here and the d4 attacks the pawn. There is not. How will you defend? Will it be defendable? I don't think there is any way to defend on the c2. This capture, rook captures, rook captures. I'll just capture with the rook. Rook check. King have to go here. I will go for rook check. Or if you go for knight capture, then there might be threat like rook coming to e2. So rook to e2 was a blunder. I'll give for knight check and just capture the rook. So that could be an idea that could play by black. Knight goes for attack, and then after knight check, that could be played. Idea for black, but now if you just capture, even again, now the same threat is coming up. Knight capture the pawn, rook to d2, knight check, and then after simply capture up the rook. Okay, I'll go for rook check again. Just capture, I have rook check again. And maybe I can just capture the pawn, and winning a pawn is already winning in this position. This is completely so good position for so fine position for black. I can exchange the rook as well. I can capture the pawn. Maybe I can just go for even this is fine. Let's capture the rook. Pawn captures. However, black have to think how to win the game. Oh, attacks the bishop and also attacks the pawn. Try to defend both pawn. King can come to the d6. King coming to c5 attacking the bishop. Maybe king will come to the d4 attacks the pawn. This is winning for black. Purnima Gurung, you are losing the game. Your opponent will play at 6 and you cannot protect the pawn over here. If you push the pawn, I'll just capture. Okay, losing for black. The most thing that you need to think while playing is you should not create much more isolated pawns. That pawn push was not necessary. Your position was very good here on d6. Knight was on d6. That was very good for white. But when you try to just make the pawns isolated, that ruined of everything. This is losing. Knight check and just capture the bishop. So we didn't do that. Pawn push, pawn push, pawn push, pawn push. Isn't this is winning? So you cannot do anything. So this is losing for Purnima Gurung. We have already here we have winner of the below 1800 tournament. Thank you all for playing and participating. 56 players were participating, and thank you all for being here. It is because of you guys we have organized this tournament. We are happy for 1K subscriber, and we try to have some fun. And of course, we are having this among the below 1800 players. Tomorrow we'll be having among below 1600 players, and we will be seeing much more fun. We will be having much more fun. As we could see, there was queen being captured. There was so fluctuating. One was giving piece for free, another was winning the game, and other was again giving up the piece for free. That was so much fun, interesting, so interesting, and also the game was so funny. We could enjoy it. Thank you guys. But 4 more games are left, and after this, the tournament will be over. Hopefully, we will be finishing it in 5 minutes, and we will be completing it very soon. So maybe it went up for 2 hours. Nearly 2 hours was that play. A request for everyone who is watching: we have female players, single female players. So we had uploaded it in the YouTube yesterday, so you can simply see her YouTube channel and subscribe to her channel. Her voice is very sweet. Pallavi Kiran is her YouTube channel. She is a chess player from Pokhara itself. So you can find it out, and of course go through the channel. If you love it, you can just subscribe the channel. We have double rook versus not double rook, rook versus rook queen. So this is winning for white. I thought double rook versus queen. I thought that was some interesting game, but that was already a winning game. Here we have Judges winning the game with the resigns, white wins. The winner of the tournament is none other than Manish Bhatrai. Manish Bhatrai, winner of the tournament. Thank you all for participating, and Manish Bhatrai, congratulations. Again, the second runner-up is Pradeep Sahu, whereas Akash Pandey third, and similarly we have Miraz Thapa similarly, and many more other winning. And among the female players we have Riya Shrestha, Purnima Gurum similarly, and many more all. Thank you all for being here. Bye bye. Take care. Sayonara. Good night. Tomorrow we'll be coming again tomorrow at the same time at 5 p.m. and that will be among below 1600 guys. The link will be posted in the community. If you are below 1600, you can simply click on the link and join the game. See you. Bye bye. Take care. Okay, I just forgot to read out the comment. Some मैले टाढा पोइन्ट धेरै पाएन हा को रे पोखराको चेस प्लेयर channel. Okay, Pallavi Kiran. Okay, Pallavi Kiran. We had posted a video on her singing. She sings very well. Here I will just show up on her video. So guys, we will just play it out for you. Small, let me stop this one. So she sings very well. So here we have our channel. So you can search this one and just go for subscribe. And if you like our video, you can click on subscribe. She is a player from Pokhara and also a singer. So we'll try to help her. She's very good. We love her. So thank you guys. This is all for today. So thank you guys. This is all for today. Again, we like to congratulate Manish Bhatrai for winning the tournament of below 1800. Thank you. Bye bye. See you again in the next streaming. Bye bye. This is